In this video, we will describe the use of the label printing tool in Symbiota to print Lichen and Bryophyte packets, which are full sheets of paper with a 3x5 label printed on the bottom third of the sheet. First, log into your account in either the Bryophyte or the Lichen portals. Go to My Profile, Occurrence Management, and then click the name of the collection for which you would like to print labels. Then click Print Specimen Labels. From here, you can search for the specimens for which you would like to print labels. You can select any or all of these specimens to print labels. To select all, click the checkbox at the top of the leftmost column, or just select a few. You can print multiple of the same label by changing the number in the quantity column. To print these specimen labels as a packet, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, and from the Label Profiles menu, select Generic Lichen Packet from the drop-down menu. From here, you can edit the heading by editing the heading prefix, the heading midsection, which is auto-filled depending on the data in the specimen record, and you can change the suffix. So this will say lichens of, and then list the state of the specimen record, comma, United States. The label footer here is not actually a footer on the specimen packet. It will show up on top of the barcode. So the default is going to be a barcode with your collection name on the top, and then the barcode number listed below. It will look like this. You do not need to check the Print Catalog Numbers box, as this will already be shown below the barcode. If you don't want to include the barcode, you can uncheck this box, but then make sure you also get rid of Custom Collection Name here, otherwise it will just be floating somewhere on the label. You can also check the box next to Print Species Authors for infraspecific taxa, if you would like to show the species authorship whenever you have an infraspecific taxon. If you would like to only print the barcode and none of the label information, you can click Print Only Barcode, but this won't show up as a packet. Here is an example of a slightly edited lichen packet. See, I have changed to lichens of country and then removed the suffix, then added Arizona State University to the footer, and this is what it looks like when printed. Note that it's at the bottom third of the sheet so that you can print and then fold the packet accordingly. If you need to edit the label from here, you can click Edit Labels Content and then change any small issues that you see. If you want to make any large format changes or change which fields are visible on the packet label, then you'll want to create your own custom Lichen and Bryophyte packet label profile. To do this, return to the previous label printing page, and then click the pencil next to Label Profiles. Scroll down to where you see Generic Lichen Packet. Then you're going to go ahead and clone this either to your own personal profile or to your collection profile. If you clone this to your collection profile, this means that anyone else who has access to your collection will be able to use this profile. This is good for default profiles for your collection if you want them to be standardized. Otherwise, you can clone the profile to your user profile, which will then only be accessible by you if you have a specific format that you wish to follow. I'm going to click User Profile. Then click Clone Profile. If you go down to the bottom of the page now, you'll be able to see that there is a clone of the generic lichen packet under my user profile. I've done this before, so there are two listed here. If you wish to delete a profile, click the pencil, scroll all the way down, and click Delete Profile. To edit the profile that you just cloned, also click the pencil icon. You can change the name of the profile. As before, you can change the prefix, the midsection, the suffix. You do not want to change default CSS, custom CSS, or custom JS. To edit this profile further, scroll down to the JSON field and click Visual Interface. This will bring up a much more customizable form where you can change which fields are available, their size, their font, etc. In the center of this interface, you'll see a label content area. This is where you will make the edits to your label that will show up in the formatting options. Right below it is the label preview, which you can use to proof the edits that you've made and make sure that the fields are in the right place. On the left side, you'll see fields available. These are all the fields from the database from which you can draw and enter into the label content area. To do so, click, drag, and drop into the desired line. If you need to edit the order, you can drag and move, and sometimes that requires moving other fields around the new field. To add a line, scroll down to the bottom and click Add Line. Or you can delete lines by clicking the X on the left side. To edit the formatting attached to a single field, click on that field, and then edit the options in the Field Options area on the right side. As you can see, this font size has been set to extra large. I could change that, and it will show up in the label preview. You can also change whether it is bold, italics, underlined, etc. You can also change whether it is right-centered or left. You can also add prefixes and suffixes. To edit the formatting for an entire line, click the line in the label content area, and then go to the line options area in the bottom right side of the screen. So here you can set the text alignment for the entire line. You can change the spacing for the top and bottom of the line, and for the left of the line. Be cautious when you're adjusting spacing and when you're adding lines, because the size of the label on the packet is limited to 3 by 5. So it could be that if you add too many lines or have too much text, then the text is going to fall off the label and not be printed. So just proceed with caution. To discard any changes, click Cancel and Close, or to save changes, click Save Format and Close. As an example, I'm going to include the other catalog number, or accession number, at the top of my labels. To do so, I will go to the Label Content area, add a line, and I want to show the accession number above the scientific name, so this line has to show up above all the other lines. To do so, I'm going to move the line up by clicking these up arrows, move it all the way to the top, and then I'm going to drag other catalog numbers into that area. So now we'll see it's in a different font. I want to change that, so I click on it. I change the font to sans serif to match everything else. I want it to be small, and I want it to be italic. Then I can save my format and close, and click Save Label Profile. Then I want to go back to my Label Manager, select another label to print, scroll down, select my new Lichen packet profile, click Print in Browser, and there I have my accession number or other catalog number listed above my scientific name. Note that the header is always going to show up at the very top, so even if you put new lines that show on top of the previous lines in that label profile editor, the header will still usurp that height and come on the very top. I obviously need to edit this profile a little bit further for things that are not in the United States, but that can be done either through the prefix and suffix, or, as before, I can edit the label's content straight from the browser. When you go to print your packet, make sure you use the print preview to ensure that the margins are correct and that the packet is centered. If you're in Google Chrome, you can go to More Settings and ensure that the margins are minimum, that the headers and footers are not visible, And you want to make sure that the scale is either default or a custom at 100. This way the packet will be foldable according to expectations. And that's how you can print and edit specimen packets straight from the Lichen or Bryophyte portals. Thanks to Laura Prado for designing this interface.